When I was young, and my generation was young, actually it's not that I'm that old, but we used to think life is black or white. Parents used to say yes or no. But life actually taught us, and experience taught me and taught us that almost everything is up for discussion. What's discussion? It's to take a bit from here, a bit from there, reach a conclusion, which is actually a compromise that suits all parties. And by this, we're avoiding conflicts in the future. I'm very pleased to say that grade 11 students realized this early in their life. And they decided to sit and discuss a very controversial issue regarding our life. I'd like you to sit back and enjoy their discussion. Thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen, and colleagues, welcome to the second debate, which will be about traditions, which is, as a definition, the transmission of beliefs from generation to generation. We are all the same. Man is one race, but his geographical background, ethnic factors, family, and social limitations contribute largely to the growth of his personality. His religious ideology, faith, level and quality of education impart to him a mental bent, habitual temperament that is unique to his own society, sect, and tribe. This is the basis of his tradition and culture. To discuss this issue, let me introduce my guest, a group of students from our البشائر school. Ms. صباغ, Ms. إنجي الهبج, Ms. ياسمين, Ms. ملدا طحان. Today, I'm raising the big controversial question. Does the elimination of tradition make progress faster? Shall I start with you, Ms. Adam?
Good morning, Michelle. Tradition is just repeating what other people had said in life. We shouldn't repeat others. We must go forward in life, not backwards. And tradition is just holding us back from going further in progress. And change is usually required in progress, and tradition is just holding us back. So I see that without tradition, people might have advanced much further in life. Thank you.
Turn to you, Ms. Yasmeen.
First of all, tradition defines who we are, and it reminds us of where we've come from and it binds us as a community and ties us to those who have gone before us. Tradition it enables us to progress with the valuable knowledge, and there are a lot of reasons for us not to eliminate tradition, because and one of them is bonding and the togetherness that the people who follow tradition have. People want to progress because they want to do better. It's a part of human nature. Want to be better, but.
So, Angie, do you assume that people will advance further if they get rid of tradition?
Yes, I do. Tradition keeps us from advancing. Tradition is thinking how people had lived in the past and using that as a guideline to our lives. I don't see the benefit of this, because if we keep on trying to live in the past, we distance ourselves from the gradual change happening in our society. If it was so good back then why has society changed? People often think that familiar is good and that different is bad. We should change that perspective.
Back to you, Aya. To what extent does society need tradition?
First of all, tradition has something to do with society. So it's basically brainwashing it to change, and we are letting those people out of killing themselves. The people are committing suicide because other people are judging it. Tradition is just setting this mind thing where we have to change, where people must change. We shouldn't change, we must stay the same. Second of all, if we go back in time when women couldn't work or study or get out of the house, it's a tradition. She's only allowed to stay at home and do whatever home she's going to do, take care of her kids or whatever. But a man could get out of the house and do whatever he wants. And I know that times have changed, and women can get out of the house and do whatever she wants, but most of the things she wants. But they still could compare it. For example, if a woman came from the finest universities with a best master degree, and a man came from a normal university and a normal degree, and they both applied for the same job. They will take him over her. Why? Because they get this thing that a man is way serious with his job and can take his job way seriously. But a woman, and it's scientifically proved, that a woman can handle more than one task on two hands. So tradition is just brainwashing everything that a woman cannot do and a man can do it way better.
This whole women and men thing is people got used to it and then they called it tradition. This whole people prefer men over women thing because, I mean, think about it. Women have kids and they have kids and they have this sick leave monthly. So it's just life. It's just the way life works. And so people got used to it and they started to call it tradition and they considered it as a bad thing.
Yeah, but woman is not born to sit in the house and do housework. She's born to live, just like a man. They're both genders the same. They're equally the same. She must have equal rights, not different rights.
They do have equal rights. They don't, but because it's the way life works. It's people. There are some certain jobs that require men only because women don't have the time to work in these certain jobs.
Can I add something? Colette Houli, a feminist, said that I'm not born to cook, marry, bring children, and then die. If this is the rule in our society, then I might be an exception, and I support it.
Well, then who will take care of the kids?
I told you now that a woman is known and scientifically proved that she can handle more than one task on two hands. So it's like a woman's job is to handle more than one thing.
Briefly, Ms. What's your perspective toward this issue?
Following tradition keeps cultural life in the face of progress. Understanding tradition and how and who they came to exist for is the best way to real progress. We don't want to throw them out, because if we do, we don't want to throw them out and start over, because if we do, we will make mistakes. Good tradition also contain mistakes too, but a lot of people thought about them and tried to fix them.
We want to fix traditions if we can get rid of them and start a new thing, because each time and age has its own thing. But that's it. Why do you fix them?
Can I go back to the point? People want to progress because they want to do better, and it's a part of human nature. But humans know that that when working together, they can succeed more. And for example, when hunting, people hunt together because they know that there is a better chance for them to succeed. And tradition plays a fundamental part in this togetherness. Okay, and there's another thing that people, the whole.
Miss Ingi, can we consider tradition as our guidebook?
No, we can't. Actually, we shouldn't. Many people consider these traditions as their guidebook and definite orders to control their life, even if it forces them to take difficult decisions that may have bad consequences on them. They forgot that who have put these traditions are simple and uneducated people. They have put these traditions to organize their lives and solve their problems. They took what their parents had given them, not knowing which is good and which is bad. Unlike people of these days, where education and consciousness took place. And so we should all work together to stop these traditions.
From an opposing point of view, what's your take on Ms. Yasmeen?
Traditions are wonderful parts in human society and history. And learning history is Okay, first of all, you said that we can't ask our parents for their opinion, or when you said no, our parents' experience is important. Asking them for their advice is important.
Actually, most parents do not take the opinion of their children. They just take the traditions as definite orders to control their life.
And you also said we should eliminate tradition if we...
Yeah, but tradition is like a cage, you know? Like, we're put it in a cage where it's locked and we have to break it to get it out.
That's because you only think of it as the bad things of it. There are a lot more. If we eliminate tradition, we can duplicate the mistakes the people have made in the past. And
past, what happened in the past will never forget, because history will stay history. We still teach, we learn history, we do everything with history. So past will never be vanished. It will stay the same.
But if you don't have a past, you won't have a future.
Yeah, but I'm saying that past will stay. It will not vanish.
Okay. So, Aya, where do you see parents in tradition?
You see, some parents have, nowadays, teenagers are open-minded. You don't need anyone to tell them to think out of the box. They're already thinking out of the box. Like, look at us, we're our students. We're already thinking where to go, or where to study, or where to apply for what job. We're already thinking out of the box. So there's some parents that are over-restricted on their kids. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I love my parents. They've been a huge support part in my life. Like, without my parents, I wouldn't be even here. But I'm saying that some parents are being overprotective on their kids. For example, they tell them not to go to a certain, they're just like limiting their children's dreams. Like, if they want to achieve something, they don't let them to. They tell them not to go to a certain party for a certain reasons, but they go to that certain party because they're not to. It's just bad to do the opposite. It's like tradition. It's holding progress back and letting us to do and go forward and do the forbidden to be done, like drugs and so much worse.
Ms. Ingi, what do you have to support Ms. Aya?
Actually, parents are restricting their children and are being sometimes unfair. First, naming their children in the names of their grandparents, considering it as a way to express love and respect to their parents. Actually, it's really unfair to name a cute newborn baby with Fikra, Tasma, Taysir, and whatever. Like, come on guys, we're trying to improve and you're still thinking in this way. Can we have a difference?
The whole naming after your father thing is important. We think it's wrong, but it's actually we name after our father because for a sentimental reason, and tradition is our identity and roots, and we get that from our father. We get this identity and roots from our father. We live in a when people don't know their father or origins or traditions, in another word, they lead a life searching for their identity. And we live in a social life where origins are important, whether we like it or not. And here a lot of them, people, they know you by your father and your grandfather, and as you hear them say, so name counts.
Thank you, Ms. Yasmeen. Ms. Manda.
Parents always worry about their children, and because they want to protect them from negative influence. However,
Can I continue my idea?
Go ahead.
Second, it truly drives me angry, considering that medicine and engineering are the best jobs in the world. And oh my God, parents show off if their children are engineers or doctors, ignoring other types of jobs, such as, let's take psychology. Psychology is fully abandoned in our society. People are afraid to go to a psychiatrist because they are afraid to be called insane or crazy. We should change this point of view.
Ms. Melda, we heard about parents in tradition. Where do you see teenagers?
Athletic traditions passed down through families, generation, can influence the teen mobility. Family tradition can help the teen maintain social community within social bounds within the community and still acceptable behavior, cultural behavior.
Thank you.
I want to add something. Technology has advanced in the speeding of the communication with each other. Don't you think it's inappropriate for college students to send an email to their professors using terms like things, THX and stuff? It might be time for tradition to access and limit this speed of communication because tradition teaches us to be responsible and gives a structure to our lives, and it makes a person feel more precious and more respectful to others. It gives an importance to women and old people, and in addition to the importance it gives to neighbors, and which makes us interact with them even more.
But we cannot use that. Like I told you that we're moving by age and time. The times have changed. You cannot come and ask some people to go back in time and just act what people in the past act or behave like what they in the past behaved. You know that time has changed.
I'm not saying that you have to act like others, like the people before us. But don't you think that progress is hindered when you eliminate tradition? Because if not for tradition, we would have to start from the scratch whenever every time a new problem arises, and this whole mistake thing, we would duplicate the same mistakes and repeat them again.
Can I add something? I have to come back to the point you have said that tradition makes us respect all people and women. Women are really not respected in our society and are really not appreciated because it's really unfair. And for old people, actually, it's more about religion, not tradition. And another thing I have to say that although these customs and traditions organize our lives and keep the new generations from corrupting, we still don't need them because we have our religious book to organize our lives and solve our problems.
Okay, thank you. As a conclusion, give us one brief sentence. What do you have to add?
Getting rid of tradition may hinder our progress because it acts as a guide for us to, as I said before, to avoid making the same mistakes. And with its absence, we will not have a benchmark that leads us to the right direction.
Ingi already said that.
Excuse me, let her finish what she's saying. Okay, thank you.
Ingi already said that we have religion, religious book that we can follow. We don't need tradition to tell us where to follow, where to go.
Okay. As a conclusion, give us one brief sentence, please. Ms. Ali.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying tradition is bad, but it's just imitating our achievements when in progress.
Because that's what you think. That's only what you think. Tradition is not only about.
Giving a final
Please.
statement.
I'm sorry you didn't that.
Please, Ms. Yasmin.
Okay, we'll leave it. But the thing is that it's just like stopping us from going in progress. And we don't want that, do we? All I'm gonna say that be yourself and don't copy others or don't not follow others. Just go find those wings, just your wings, and stick them on your back and fly in your own direction. Don't follow others and be your own leader. Don't be the leader of anyone else.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Yasmin,
It's way much more than you think.
a brief sentence, please.
Okay. Tradition is
Ms. Ingi.
Create your own method. Do not depend slavishly on mine. Make up something that will work for you, but keep on breaking traditions either.
Ms. Melda.
What I first learned from tradition is to have courage and be kind. Because if you don't have courage, the world won't see you. And if you don't have kindness, the world will hate you.
Thank you. More than ever, we need to look back today. The traditional flaws have to be weeded, not ruthlessly, but with sympathy. The rate of progress has to compromise with the abiding values of the past. If the cultural mores are lost, we shall become ruthless. Where tradition is an obstacle, it has to be removed. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank my guests for devoting time to give us this wonderful information and very helpful information. It has changed a lot of minds, for sure. In addition, I want to thank you, the lovely audience, and I want to thank Ms. Tuma for her
Hard work.
Great effort. I have a question for my audience. Who has something to add?
Where does tradition come from, basically?
I already said.
Well, whether you are with tradition or against it, I guess it's an important part of our daily life. So it helps us to go further in our lives. And we can't eliminate it completely, although also we can't depend on it in our everyday life.
Thank you. John?
In our community, most boys are with girls who are open-minded. However, when you look, if you ask him about a girl and his family, and he goes back to the traditions of the family. But if you look to a girl from the community, خلاص open-minded, he forgets the traditions or everything else. So what do we do شو اسمه to stop that?
Okay. No, we can't eliminate traditions, but no, we can't depend on it. We have to be moderate. You can't. Yes, so you can go back to your history, your traditions, but renew them, make them your own.
So you are saying we have to use tradition, but with
modernness, yeah. Keep attached to your roots, but add something new that's your personality.
Thank you, Joe.
Actually, when they came when we met at the first meeting we did, they chose what they wanted to debate, the choices, social media, etc., and then they came to tradition. To be frank, I didn't want tradition because it is not an easy topic. And to be frank, it's actually easy to those who are against tradition. It is not easy to those who are actually supporting tradition. I want to tell you that Yasmeen and Melda put great effort. They have were amazing, the way you prepared as well, and thank you very much.
Thank